Aristotle was a student of Plato. And he wasn't like a direct like student. He was one of many.
One of many, right.
Right? So I look at it stuff as where Aristotle seemed as a lackey until Aristotle came and bust the damn deal and stuff, whatever, too. Because it was Socrates, Plato, Aristotle. And Aristotle is the one that taught Alexander the Great.
I don't know, but would you consider them lackeys though? Would they still be lackeys?
Yeah, because they were, and look, think about it.
Right.
If let's say Socrates at the time, Plato at the time, right? We'll go back to Aristotle.
Right.
Plato at the time had 100 students. It's kind of like, you know what? I'm going to just hone in and magnify Aristotle.
Right.
Right. The other 98 in the class would be like, why do you get to be in that position? You're on like, just like what you were saying.
Right. So, but then Aristotle's no longer lackey, though. No, he's a chosen one. He's the chosen one at that point. If I see a bunch of lackeys, right, and I go like this, I'm teaching you everything. You're no longer the lackey.
But it was more the chosen one.
The podcast, you can't win. Talking a good game, you can't win. Topics never lame, you can't win. Win.
Watch your average Joseph. Marvelous. It's ridiculously funny, but funny.
You think he's slick with that one? Hi, I'm Marvelous.
And I'm not your average Joseph.
And we are the Podical Sons. Let's start the show. Like, comment, subscribe. All of the above.
All of that.
All streaming platforms possible at Podical Sons Podcast.
We are here.
PodicalSons.com is the website. You can get all the episodes, video and audio as well. You can take that with you on the go, wherever you need to listen to your show. And yeah, man.
All right.
How you feeling today?
I'm good, man. I've been in my colors. It's Super Bowl Sunday.
San Fran 49er.
They say I'm San Franish right now.
You're looking real San Franish.
You looking real San Franish?
Yeah.
Right.
Real San Franish. Everything, man.
Yeah, you looking real Chiefs over there. Is this the Chiefs versus San Fran episode, right? What's going on?
First of all, as you can tell from the color of the damn show, these are my colors.
These are your colors.
Okay.
The Chiefs got the colors from me.
I don't give a damn about Mahomes because he don't give a damn or even probably know me. And then much less, I got see even anybody from 49ers because I cut the check. So yeah, man. Everything, man. Let's do this.
Let's do this.
What do you want to? Let's start with the polls first.
All right.
Polls. First poll. Yikes. First poll of the week says, does every man cheat? And 93% said no, folks. Congrats.
93% said no.
Sound like a lot of healed and evolved individuals.
Kudos.
Only 7% said yes.
Kudos. Yeah, check those polls and make sure there's some women in there. Check and make sure there's some women in there because...
You know what I think it is and stuff too? I feel like it depends on the demographic and stuff that did answer and partake and stuff in this
right
poll, right? Where if, let's say, to the women that might be in stable relationships, if they participated and stuff into the polls, they probably would have said, no, not every man probably cheats and stuff like that. Or they probably even had their share of cheaters and stuff in their younger days and then realized and stuff like they're all Charlotte people out here.
Right.
So that's probably like beyond them and stuff. I think maybe like a younger demographic definitely for sure might feel like everybody out here smashing everybody.
Right. Yeah. I could see that.
There's something around that. Okay, do you think the world is more acceptable for a man to cheat?
I wouldn't say that they're more acceptable to it. I still think it's it's still deemed unacceptable in certain eyes. But I don't think that I don't think it's now deemed as a real cause of breakups or splits or something like that. I think now they're more willing to reconcile or try and work things out or in the past where it just been might have been just a straight this is ending the relationship type of deal and just cut. I mean, it possibly could be that, the single income don't really cut it no more. So you gotta choose wisely before you cut.
Let me ask you this then. You see like, okay, so I want to say, was it 60s, 70s?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Temptations is out then, right? The 60s, 70s?
Yeah.
Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Right.
Wherever he laid his hat was his home, right? And I heard Papa had a different kind of family and all that type of stuff, whatever. But Papa still sounded like he lived home, right?
Papa still lived out at home.
So,
but it was very hush.
Was it though? It wasn't a hit song.
I mean, close family members might know that Papa was a Rolling Stone, but the outside community, Papa was still a family man.
Papa was a family man. It don't even have a jing to it.
Papa was still a family man.
You see, because the thing is stuff that gets me is that it's the same thing where you had back in the day, I'm not sure, but let's say the one income thing, quote unquote, could cut it.
Right.
The women still kind of accepted it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like cheating wouldn't break it.
Yeah.
Then we got to a point where we're saying like, I don't need this shit. I can do bad all by myself.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And then now they're looking like, if he's just gonna cheat, they were doing it way back when.
Right.
I only keep it to tradition.
I think the rise of I can do bad all by myself.
Yeah.
I don't need no man. I don't need it. Like I'm my sole person. I think that has a lot to do with it too. With the I don't gotta put up with your shit type of deal. You know what I mean? You cheated on me once. Who's to say that you won't do it on me again?
So
what we were talking about the Plan B dudes?
Yeah.
There's a lot more. There was a lot more Plan B dudes prevalent during that time, just waiting, right? So I think when we're talking about the 60s and 70s, when Papa was a Rolling Stone, I don't think women much had Plan Bs then. I think a typical housewife might have had one or two girlfriends in the neighborhood that they spoke to consistently, hung out with consistently, and they might have been like the voice of reason. Well, what do you do if you leave him? What about the kids? This, that, and the third. Now, after that, when we had the whole social media, I'm one contact away from 60, 70 different niggas not on need to leave my house.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have all these people flirting with me at daytime while my husband's at work. You slip up, you might slip up. She might be out the door.
Because I was thinking, I agree with what you're saying. I was just thinking about like, is it The Butler? I feel like it was The Butler. That was the movie. Oprah was in The Butler, right?
I can't remember.
I know Forrest Whitaker was the butler.
Forrest Whitaker was the butler.
I can't remember who his wife was, but I think his wife was, if I'm not mistaken, like slamming Terrence Howard.
Okay.
And he was at work at the White House and she was like stay at home.
Right.
And she had her slam piece.
She had her slam.
And it was for a movie like it was back in the day.
Her slam cam?
Slam cam.
She had her slam cam.
I don't even know if they had like regular camcorders like that back then. But slam cam.
She had her slam cam going.
So, what you're saying and stuff, I agree. I agree with like the landscape has definitely changed. It's just, I don't know. I just feel like maybe from those teachings from like again, the Papa was Rolling Stone time.
Right.
Like those hurt or possibly healed women just kind of just passed it down and stuff. And they're like, men are going to cheat. Yeah. And throughout generations and stuff like that, like a generational lesson being taught like that, I think we come to a point where like it's acceptable for a man to cheat. But now it's like an ultimate cardinal sin if the woman does it and stuff like that, right? Like I hear, thousands of times like men cheat because it's for ego.
Right.
And women cheat for emotional.
Right.
Right? And I look at it stuff as like, what if she actually cheated for emotional purpose and stuff, whatever, right? Like maybe a little dick might not suffice.
Right.
You know, maybe a two-stroke joke might not suffice.
Right.
And she feel like it's leaving her void in more ways than some. Double entendre. But, you know.
She should buy a dildo. She should buy the
but that might even crush his ego if he finds out.
Well, you know what? It's better that crushes his ego
than Joe Grind.
Than Joe Grind knocking on the door.
Okay. All right. Moving right along.
And we're here.
What was the next question? The next question was, which do you prefer? Pets over people or people over pets? And the results of that poll was 62% people over pets.
People over pets.
Boy, it was looking shaky as fuck in the morning.
It was getting kind of shaky there.
Are you on the people? Were you on the people side,
I was
sir?
on the people. I'm
okay, kind sir. Just making sure. Like I looked at it, I was like, damn. Yo, people really don't like people. It's like,
especially if they're out here cheating.
Yo,
your pets don't cheat on you.
Yo, if your ex-woman was, let's say, running your internet, right?
Okay,
and she worked for, let's say, the company until they cut checks.
Right.
You know, that's running your internet, whatever, right?
Right.
You would when you guys are together, you're getting this major mad discount, right?
Right.
And let's say your normal bill could be like about, say, $200 and change a month.
Yeah.
But with this wicked discount and stuff, whatever, your bill's like $60 a month.
Yeah, that's a good discount.
That's a great discount.
That's a good discount. Can't argue with that. You might have to stay in a relationship for that discount. Like I said, think of what you're doing before you make any rash movements.
Do something wrong correctly.
There you go. Do something wrong correctly.
Okay, so yeah, I was on the people over pet side and stuff. No shade and no beef to pets, but I just look at it stuff as where if I prefer to hear consoling words.
Right.
Consoling words from somebody if it comes to a sad time or something like that. Not like an enunciation of an animal snarl or growl or I don't know what the fuck that mean. Like,
can't decipher that one.
No, I don't know what the fuck that mean and stuff. Whatever.
Cheer up, nigga.
So yeah, no, give me the cheer up, nigga. Give me a human being that can say it. Preferably a black one. They're in Black History Month. But yeah, so 62% people over pets. And Smooth's extra credit poll.
Right.
Is it the Taylor Bowl or is it the Usher Bowl? And the Coons have spoken. 80% the Usher Bowl.
You see, okay. So going back to the first poll, when you were talking about the demographics, when I was looking at the disparity, I said, okay, this is definitely a demographic thing. This is definitely a demographic thing. There's no way Usher should be blowing Taylor. I was on the Usher team, but there's no way Usher should be blowing out Taylor Swift like that in the polls.
God bless you. I like a personal reasoning. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, man. Because I was looking at, I'm like, boss, I'm watching CNN and stuff. I'm trying to get the skinny on this Trump dude and stuff about him trying to appeal some shit.
Right.
And everything else is popping off. And all I keep saying is CNN. Taylor Swift conspiracy, Taylor Swift commercials. Then I see Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift having conversations. I was like, you know, there's bigger issues in the world today.
No,
besides this.
Two posts I've seen on two different spectrums. Shaq saying all he wants to do is shake Taylor Swift's hands because he wants to shake hands of a winner or something like that, right?
Wow.
And then on the flip side, someone pissed off that Taylor Swift snubbed Celine Dion when she was going up to accept her award. And I'm like, when did that happen? Because I didn't hear about that during Grammy night. Is this somebody going back through the tapes and spotting this and calling it out?
Slightly, because I seen it. And I seen that.
Right.
Even on CNN. Like, it caught me like it was on a rotunda.
Yeah.
I'm cutting across from unit to unit, and I'm looking at them like, this is issues?
This is issues, bro.
This is issues in the world. Like, and Celine Dion is a national treasure.
Yes.
Right? And I look at it stuff as where she's been through her share. Like, she's battling some ailments, no?
I didn't know that.
Like, yeah, like Celine was like battling something and stuff for a little bit after, like, well, after her husband
Right,
passed.
yes, you're right.
Whatever. So I'm looking at stuff as like, she might not be with the shits, but to get like even a handoff from saying, like, picture you won an award for like producer of the year and Timbaland gave you the award.
Oh, sure.
Be a fucking honor.
Yeah.
So you're over elated.
Yeah.
So I'm saying she's looking like, yo, we have no regular person could give you this award.
This is Celine Dion.
This is Celine Dion.
Yeah.
My heart would go on to you.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, nah. She's hating. I'm like, nah, she hating. She was just ecstatic. She's a young girl.
Yeah.
So I'm looking like, should, let me say this. Taylor Swift being who Taylor Swift is, or saying that her age frame and demographic in her early 30s, I feel like she should know who Celine Dion is.
Yeah, she should know who Celine Dion
right?
is.
So I don't feel like the younger demographic that might follow her might know who Celine is.
No.
So they might look at it stuff as like, this lady just being an older lady, just kind of like, yo, get me out of this award show. I'm done doing my job. Look like, oh, she's shading Taylor. How, Sway? How? Nah, it ain't that, man. Taylor Bowl. I see you, Usher fans. I see you, my black Usher fans.
Usher, baby.
Racist. All right, man. What's going on with you, man? What's on your mind today, man? What's on your mind? What would you like to talk about before we get to some things? Because I wanted to dance back to some stuff, but go ahead.
Why is it that Canadians can never get a decent budget for Super Bowl commercials and like put on really good Super Bowl commercials? Why is it that we gotta either watch American channels or wait to the news to show us these? Like, this is how big Super Bowl commercials are. Like, they'll come on the news to tell you how so-and-so made spent this amount of money, so-and-so might have had this star in the, but it's never Canadian companies and never Canadian channels. It's always, you always see the same basic stuff.
I think it's the broadcast.
You think it's the broadcast?
I think the reason I think it's the broadcast that, like, don't quote me. The reason why I'm saying it's the broadcast, because I look at it stuff as where, if it's like two different countries, right?
Right.
My country might not sell the same products you might have.
Right. That's correct.
So I look at it stuff as where, if say I live in Iceland and I'm watching Super Bowl commercial stuff in America, whatever, right?
Right.
I'm okay if like get my commercial depends on where I'm from.
Right.
Like if I speak more of the English language, I'm okay with getting a commercial and stuff in that.
Right.
But if I'm an older person that just enjoys the sport and I don't understand the language, you're going to show me commercials that I know nothing about. You guys might not even sell the products over here. So that's what I'm feeling like.
Okay, so that I get, right?
Right.
But okay, so again, with the Canadian broadcast companies, when those commercials air, obviously it's gonna be Canadian commercials, right? Because we're obviously selling to a Canadian demographic, right? But even with that being said, it's Super Bowl, baby. A lot of these people, Canadian people, might just be watching TV because it's the Super Bowl. This might be the time for you to show out. You know what I mean? Maybe do something different from the regular commercials that you run. Yeah. Maybe do something different from the regular standard commercials, because I see a lot of standard commercials that I could see throughout the year.
I always looked at stuff as like, I never understood why. Let's say, for example, if I know my country is popping,
right?
I do a tourist commercial and run it on another place. Like, let's say, all right, I'm in Canada, I run Canada and everything. I'm gonna pay for like, I don't know, let's say they're equivalent to like NBC or some shit like that, whatever.
Right.
Run a commercial about Toronto.
Of course.
And everything. So it's kind of like you're in the UK state of mind. This should be a song.
There should be a song.
They're in the UK state of mind, just chilling and stuff. You see a commercial, you're like, I feel like I should go to the States, yeah? Go mess with some Yanks, yeah? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that would just kind of put the thought of stuff in their head. And you can pay for that during the Super Bowl.
Of course, yeah.
Just say like, all right, we're willing to spend this much to help boom our tourism. Because like, I see a lot of times there's current commercials for like America or USA.
Right.
Right? They're like, I think there's one with Arnold doing, I guess, representing for California.
Yeah.
You've seen that one.
Yeah.
Is that tourism for the country?
Sure is.
That.
One more question. Do you think Super Bowl Sunday sells more TV sets than Boxing Day?
No. And I think the reason why I say no, the reason why I know I'm saying no is because not a lot of people might even flinch
Right.
for Boxing Day and stuff like that.
Right.
And I think Super Bowl Sunday, I think because they know it's more of just a friend, like, I'm having some people over, or come through. It's kind of like if you don't already have it and you're making all the adjustments and changes for it to return it back and everything, you're doing a lot.
You're doing a lot?
You're doing a lot.
Okay. Just wondering, because I heard quite a few ads on, like, these places be selling like a Super Bowl Sunday sale. Come get your 67 inch
you got
TV.
to.
I'm like, bro, it's like, and then I thought about it. I said, yeah, well, I mean, every Super Bowl that I've seen in the last 5 years, that I've noticed TV sales around it. And I was like, is this now a thing? Like, is it going to be a deciding factor moving forward when you want to buy a new TV? I'm gonna wait till Super Bowl Sunday to get a good TV.
Nah. I think if you're just and that's what I'm saying. I think if you're just a natural like sports fan itself, whenever your season and stuff pops in, like, you pay your way. Like,
Right.
if you're an NBA person, you pay for the season pass.
Right.
Right. And hockey has one. Season ticket and stuff is NFL. You know what I'm saying? So MLB has their own thing. So you'll pay the extra way for your thing.
Right.
So if you like to watch baseball, you want to see baseball in HD, you probably might buy it at the beginning of season then, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Just be like, no, you need to make sure you see somebody sweat or like a bird shit lands on the field. Yeah, I wanted to bounce back to the whole Grammy thing.
Okay.
Was Jay-Z's Grammy speech necessary?
I don't think it was necessary. I mean, if you have stuff on your chest that you want to get off, but I mean, who am I to tell you when and where? But I don't think it was necessary. I think, either you're graceful to your host, right, for honoring you, and leave it at that, or if you feel the way you feel, just don't show up.
Yeah. I think the part when he made me smirk, well, he made me smirk a few times and stuff, whatever. But I think the one part when he said they would boycott the Grammys, then they'll watch the Grammys in the hotel room, it was like, why?
Right, yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
What's the point of the boycott?
Yeah.
Like, so if you're gonna do this, like, to me, I feel like it was unnecessary.
Right.
Because I look at it stuff as where multiple reasons, but the first part where I deem it unnecessary was that aspect pertaining to, like, some of you guys, the boycott piece.
Right.
And the other part, like, some of you guys feel like you got snubbed. Some people feel like you didn't deserve to be there.
Yeah.
And everything. You in your heart of hearts know this. Right?
Right.
As a artist who Jay-Z of his caliber and stuff, and I'm a Jay-Z fan.
Yeah,
you know this.
Yeah.
And I look at it stuff as that if you're speaking about your wife for her to get her piece,
right?
Why do you care for if they recognize you or they don't?
If they don't, yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I still feel like what's the racist term? Because we're in Black History Month.
We're in Black History Month.
What is it like? They're cooning? Like, are you still seeking the approval of others? Because I look at it stuff as like, yo, boss, you're a billionaire.
Yeah.
Like you're a billionaire. You've achieved some things and stuff in your music career that some can only hope to imagine. And this is when, even if you look at the other side of another race,
right?
We're talking about the Caucasian folk and stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
You've done some shit like, astronomically kind of set statures. Let's say Eminem was quote unquote your rival on the other side and stuff, whatever. Eminem don't have no pop star woman as his wife. You got an R&B miss as your wife.
Right.
You've conquered a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So if you still need extra things to say, you've done more and stuff. Like, as a Jay-Z fan, like I always say, let me be great. Like, we know you great, Jay. Like, I know you're great. I love you, but I'm looking like,
yeah.
This is not necessary.
Nah.
Even your woman doesn't need this and stuff. We know your woman's great.
But and listen, and we're never gonna take away her Grammy accomplishments from her, right? But that award,
you just need album of the year.
That award, album of the year, right? The album has to be fired straight through.
And we're not saying Beyonce shit wasn't straight.
No, we're not.
through.
We're not saying that. But then she's competing with a whole lot of people who put out very, very, very good albums. So if she doesn't win album of the year, it's no slight to Beyonce for her hard work. She was just outworked.
I don't know if Beyonce is outworked.
You don't know if she's outworked? Taylor Swift got album of the year?
No, like I feel like I can't speak about Taylor Swift's full album and stuff, whatever. I do rep for the Swifties.
Right.
In my mind, I'm lying. I don't rep for none of them. From the Beehives to the it was the Barbies. None of them, man. I rep for none of them but my damn stuff on my damn podcast. But I look at it stuff.
I was about to say, not even the Hoves? We got to buy one for James. The Hoves?
The Hoves? the Jehovah's Witnesses?
The Jehovah's Witnesses.
Hell no, man. And I might even be part of it. Like if they have a checklist, I might hit all the checklists.
You might hit the checklist.
But I'm still not going to rep for that. I look at it stuff as where, this is where it comes to me and the whole Grammy committee and stuff, whatever, right? Like, I don't know who are these individuals that chooses these things. And I don't know what kind of ear are they listening with. The reason why I say it like that, because this is not really my landscape.
Right.
You might be able to shed more light on it. What if I look at it stuff as where, if, let's say, we'll give him a made up name and stuff, and no shade and no disrespect to nobody, whatever. But let's say his name Sebastian von Hootnerant.
Right.
Right. And his ear was formed from a classical music tone and stuff, whatever, right?
Right.
Me putting like a hip hop or R&B song to this person who specializes from this world is not going to cast a vote to say yay or nay if I should be nominated.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying.
So I don't know who picks these things for me to say like, yo, like I said, Beyonce, for all I know, could have overworked Taylor Swift.
Could have.
Because remember, those two concerts revitalized the U.S. economy in 2023. That's big.
Yeah.
That's big. Because if Beyonce just performed one album and Taylor Swift just performed one album at these respectable concerts, that's massive. So I'm not saying that either one outworked anybody, but I'm like, I don't know who these people are choosing for the ear. So if they're looking for more of a poppy kind of ear or happiness type of thing, I don't know, Taylor Swift shit might have, outshine Beyonce on that aspect and stuff, but everybody know, like, that about to get fucked up track.
So as far as I know, it's judged by the industry and industry peers. I guess people who are working in the industry, right? Those are the voting panels, right?
Industry of what? Music in general?
Yeah. So the music industry in general.
Yeah.
The people who are inside it, they're the voting party, right? So everybody gets their ballots with the names to check off and so forth like that. So it really works just like how like a presidential race would work, right? So let's say you have
but and that's what I'm saying. I'm not a fan of that if that's the case,
right?
Because I look at it stuff as that you're a hard rocker. You're talking about Metallica, ear, and all of the above, whatever, right?
Yeah.
A Slayer special, Iron Maiden, 666. devil of the mark of the beast. You're on that type of shit with your ear.
Right.
And I play some Yolanda Adams, my heart will go on to, a gospel track and everything.
Right.
You're not fucking with it automatically.
No, but also but when you also had to think about that, there are people in the industry who only listen to R&B. So and what I go
so
back
would
to
you
saying,
would you give my music that only listen to people who play R&B?
So that
if I had an R&B album,
and they might that person might only vote for you because they have an R&B album. So this is what I'm saying. It's exactly just like the presidential race, where a lot of people who can vote just don't vote. So if you're looking at the hip hop and R&B community who are getting the little tabs to tab and select, if they're not voting, then guess who's gonna win?
Okay. So if Future now didn't drop an album for 1 year.
If he didn't drop an album for 1 year.
And then let's say the Baby dropped the album.
Right.
Right? And now the Grammy committee would reach out to Future and say like, yo, cast your vote on who you want for the hip hop album nominee to be.
Right.
That's how it works?
That's how it works. So that's what I'm saying. It's judged.
You learn something new every day. I don't think a lot of people know that.
No, it's judged. The people who are on the Grammy committee. So it's all part of the committee, right? You it's almost like you join a union, and then your union has a end of the year award show for the best whatever in that union's category. Similar thing, right? So it's going on, and that's where one of the problems was that they were saying, well, there's not enough representation of us on the Grammy board, right? But it's not just the Grammy board that votes. They might have a little bit more sway, right? But at the end of the day, it's still a voting community.
Wasn't Diddy? That was Diddy's argument.
That was Diddy. That was one of Diddy's arguments. I think quite a few people had that argument. That
I remember he had some kind of illustrious dinner party,
right?
And that was his thing and stuff.
Yeah,
about the Black Grammys.
And I don't think it was more of the. I don't think it was more of the voting thing. I think it was more of how the Grammys are portrayed. You know what I mean? It's like why we don't see certain categories during Grammy hour, right? We only see like the rock or the country. This we don't see. They give out awards for best hip hop producers. We don't see that category, right? You might see, now they might give you the best rap category. But I remember growing up as a kid.
Yeah, Will Smith and Jazz, they won the first, right?
Right.
And their thing was not televised.
It was never. They would never televise that part, right? So I'm saying, the argument was more of the representation to make sure those things were seen. But the voting, I think the voting has always been a situation where you're voted in by your peers. And if you don't man, fuck that Grammy. Fuck those Grammys. If you're one of those artists, then you're not checking off no check boxes on no checklist.
And then this is the reason why your peoples are not being seen.
They're not gonna win.
Because if you're looking at the stuff where if I'm going by this checklist thing, say if like there was, we'll say, for sake of numbers and stuff, 100 hip hop and R&B artists and stuff. So say 200 hip hop, 100 for hip hop, 100 for R&B,
right?
And you needed the whole 100 of each genre to kind of participate. And if let's say only 36 hip hop participate, and let's say R&B like 15 participate now,
right? And
we're looking at like other genres and stuff, let's say rock or modern rock or some shit like that, and 100% or 90 percentile vote, it wouldn't make sense for you to show the 15 and much as the 35 when you have straight 80s and 90s and stuff categories out here.
And then you got to remember it's a
it makes sense.
It's a community thing too.
I get it now.
And remember, it's a community thing also too, right? So if I'm like, if I'm part of the Taylor Swift camp and I need Taylor Swift to win album of the year, because these things, as much as we look at them as just awards, no, these things get based album tours, the prices of certain things get based on winning these awards, right? So I'm like, oh shit, we need Taylor Swift to have an outstanding year, right? She got Super Bowl coming up. We need to make sure the Super Bowl's big. I start getting on the phone and start calling all my industry friends. Have you voted yet? You know you got to vote Taylor, right? Well, Taylor, yeah, we got a party going on after the Grammy Award. Come, you should already got your seat taken care of. They probably don't even know what the category is. Oh, that's Bob's artist. Check. So now it goes like that for a good while. This is what happens. This is what you see. It's not any different from politics, right? We think like when we look at Bernie Sanders, right?
Okay.
Look at the grassroots movement that he had with the young people. Young people were more like adhere to his policies than all the other candidates, but they don't go out and vote. Could you imagine if they mobilize themselves? Shit, I'm gonna go and vote for Bernie because he's speaking my language. It might be a different story. It might be a different outcome.
Okay, so then on that aspect and stuff, I stand corrected when it comes to the Jay-Z thing. That his speech was necessary then because they should show up. If they don't show up,
it is what it is. Right?
Then
it's like a basketball team. It's like your team is going to play another team in basketball, and like 5 people show up, 4 people show up to play on your team. Like you forfeit the game. The other team wins automatically. You can't play the other team.
You got to show up.
You got to show up.
You got to show up. Well said. Well said. Lessons were taught. Yeah, I don't know. That aspect is of it kind of, I want to say, remind me of the earlier aspect without knowing this piece.
Right.
It just seemed like you don't need the award. And I feel like it was a cry, like you're begging for the award. And I'm like, you've got enough yourself. She's got enough herself. Yeah. Or she's most decorated because she's won the most.
And that's what I'm saying. And she really don't need, you're right. You don't need the award, right?
To tell you agreed.
These are peers within the industry that are saying, hey, this is album of the year. Meanwhile, you might have had 40 million people who bought your album and think this is the greatest shit of all time. That's all that matters.
Yeah. Yeah. Long live Jay.
Jehovah's Witness.
I'm not ashamed, but I don't want to join nobody. Let's talk about King Charles, man. What's going on with the royal family? Everybody's popping off over there, man. And like Kate just came back from surgery.
I'm hoping like we can at least see some coins and dollar bills with like Charles in charge on it. You know what I mean? I hope this reign is long enough.
So you don't think he would abdicate? I feel like he should abdicate.
He should abdicate, right?
But you don't feel like he should?
No, I feel like he should. Right. Whether he does it or not, this nigga waited too long to grab a piece of power. He might just, and I say this because we are familiar with how this thing works. We got an 80-year-old versus an 81-year-old for presidency race. Them niggas should have hung it up. They should have hung it up. Like you always say, give a chance for new blood to come in.
I mean, William is, how old is William? Was William? He's not 38. Huh?
38.
I'm older than William.
William's around 38.
Interesting. Okay, not even 40 yet. I mean, get that a shot. And then some. Right? Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
But Charles is right now saying, wait, listen, if Biden and Trump can still be out here fucking up things, so can I. So can I. Shit. My mother was running shit until she was almost 100 and odd years old. Why am I giving up my chance so easily?
Abdicate. So quickly? You better bury me, son. Yo, he bloody blokes. Yo, my man said it with his chest. I am not mad at that. I was just thinking the stuff I think. If you like, let's say abdicating and stuff, for him to say, you know what? I waited so long for this moment, but I'm looking like, fuck, I didn't really gain your support in this short run.
Right.
and everything. You guys been rooting for William and stuff like that, whatever. I can still get this bread.
I can still get this bread.
And just me and my boo just live.
Well, just think about it, right? The overall improving of the royal family has gone down, right? They're in the midst of that whole reconciliation of what the royal family did around, the whole colonialism shit around the world. Right?
Yeah.
Bruh, I might just bow out and say, son, you deal with this shit. You know what I'm saying?
This is your problem.
Yes, you inherit this.
This is your problem. Charles in charge, man.
Charles in charge, man. I'm hoping to at least see him on a few coins, though. You know what I mean? It's a few coins. But if he does, you can grab them bitches quick. They might be collectible.
I don't know. I feel like he's in competition. They put him in competition with his son instantaneously. And I don't really think that's cool.
Well, at one point, they didn't think that it was ever gonna go to him. They thought like his mom might have outlived him, and it might have just went straight to his son.
That's cold-blooded. And because maybe I'm so used to those Game of Thrones type of like storylines, whatever. You're like, motherfuckers want to come from my seat, huh, son? You want to come from my seat? And there's other ones be like, I'd have killed this motherfucker before he come from my seat.
Right, yeah.
Yo, and it's not... No one's murdering nobody now. And I thank God it stays like this way and stuff, whatever. Or do we? Are we sort of queen past the regular...
Listen, I'm not sure if William is up for the task. I'm looking at it as like
he too soft to be king.
No, I'm not saying that he's too soft to be king. I'm looking at it as probably he don't want to inherit what's going on right now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
He may not be like, yo, Dad, stay in there long enough to clean up some of that shit. So by the time it's ready for me to take over, everything is smooth sailing. Like I'm saying, if Charles advocates now, William is inheriting a lot of shit.
Fuck these kids. I say that gracefully as a parent. And I love my son.
Gracefully.
The hell? Why I care? You're giving me retirement bread to dip off early. I'm not alone. I have a woman.
There you go.
And I have I'm pretty sure the funds look unlimited over there.
The funds is unlimited.
So like
funds is unlimited.
This is your problem. I want to chill.
This funds is unlimited.
Masculinity, man. I don't know, man. Like I wouldn't want to do that shit. Whatever. I wouldn't want to do that. Yo, I do have a masculinity question in here. I always wanted to ask you. Hold on. I'm putting it into the...
Now's the time.
Ain't no time like the present. That's why if it comes to me, it's running. Pertaining to masculinity, should men outperform others to be considered a real man?
Outperform others to be considered a real man.
Mm-hmm. So let's say, for example, if you and I taking a little race up the street or something like that, and your family and stuff is here, you got one side of the sidewalk rooting for you, the other side of the sidewalk rooting for me and everything. We race. I beat you and stuff, whatever. It's just one thing.
Yeah.
Would they be like, oh, well, you're not the man we thought you were.
The man we thought you were.
Not your average. You seem average now.
we shouldn't judge it upon that. No.
But it's a lot of times with the outperforming thing, like I look at it stuff as where, let's say, a brokey.
Yeah.
And a brokey, a working man, and let's say the high value man. It's like straight competition.
Right.
Straight across the board, whatever. And a lot of the women, and I don't want to say not a lot of the women, I do want to say like even society just kind of uses that to kind of, I don't know, either motivate men to be like in a, unified type of way, or, you know what I'm saying? Like men fit in so many, they fit in limited boxes compared to women.
Okay.
So women, you could do this, be this type of woman, tomboy, all this type of stuff, you're still considered a woman.
Right.
But if you have like 3 set boxes you fit into and stuff, I'm not saying 3 might be a number, but limited amount of boxes where you go outside these boxes, you're not considered a man.
Right.
Not even want to say like, back in the day, gay was a slur.
Right.
It'd be something close to that.
Right.
But it's always a competition for men. Not saying it's not always competition for women, because there's more Miss Universe pageants out here, Miss whatever the hell, compared to Misters, which I find very sexist. But I'm looking to be my Mr.
You can add a few categories for us men. Come on, man.
I don't want to compete with the women. I want to compete with other men.
Mr. Tools.
For your final speech, they're like, what would you do if you had $1 million? You can't buy puppies, because that's some woman stuff right there. So
niggas is going to Disney now. I'm going to Disney.
I would buy every man a hammer so he'll learn to fix something around his house to look buff and manly for his woman.
Become a Mr. Man.
There is, and that's what I'm saying, there is a criteria. I feel like I seen Vice, I believe, had a thing with about different types of men.
Right.
And they had, I guess, your non-binary, quote unquote, type of man.
Yeah.
And saying, do you consider yourself a man and everything like that? But then the manliest of men, if they saw them, would your father see him and consider him a man?
Probably not. Right.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I still feel like to certain categories, I might not be that kind of man, because I can't like build a shed out of some lumber.
Right.
You got to give me some IKEA instructions.
Right.
And I can make it pop. You know what I'm saying?
So as you talk about that, I thought about this, because we always, one of the measures of a man or manliness or manhood is that they do all the strong and heavy lifting and all the stuff that requires muscle.
Murdering people. Too much movies?
Possibly.
Too much movies?
I mean, women do it with poison and stuff like that. So maybe not just murder.
Korean cyanide?
But where was I going? Oh, yes. Okay. Now where we're seeing a lot of machinery doing a lot of the heavy lifting, a lot of the bulk stuff now, right? And men don't need to necessarily do that stuff anymore. What now becomes the measurement?
Equality. Because if it's the same type of man that can sit down, press a few buttons to let this crane grab these metal rods and move them over there, you can train a woman to do the same thing. Mm-hmm. So I think when it comes to this equalizes a lot of the sexual factors. I don't know if the sexual factors make it, that sounds different. But I don't know if I want to be concise with my words, but I want to make sure to say there's no gender specific roles for things like that anymore.
Yeah.
Because I feel like they come out of stuff for either men to do the job or women to do the job now, right? For most of these things. Now, physicality wise, I'm not too sure.
Right.
Because if it's just button pressing, I don't really think it's that much strain on the body. And, like menopause, increased menopause, or andropause. I'm trying to think
now, like what is considered something that's you would consider something like manly? Like what would be a job or a specific task out there now that you would consider still look at it as manly?
Plumbing.
Okay.
I'm sexist.
Okay.
So plumbing would be one. I've never seen a woman plumber yet.
I've never seen a woman plumber either.
And somebody can show me their mom and stuff, whatever's like company.
Right.
Or they work for a company for like, and get an award that say been there for 20 years.
Yeah.
They'll say, Mom, make this company real quick, whatever, so I can prove these assholes on this podcast.
We're not saying that they're not out there, but I'm sure we're sure they're out there.
They're in the minority.
I've just never
They're
seen
in the
them.
heavy minority because I haven't seen them and stuff like that. Whatever. It goes back to the whole certain things that pertain to STEM, whatever, right? Like women dominate the medicine aspect and stuff, and most of the STEM things and stuff, whatever, right?
Right.
The science and technology thing, they're kind of coming up in the game. Engineering, I love to see a woman engineer in action. When I find out that a woman's an engineer, like my hospital's going through some changes and stuff. So when I hear, oh, this person's an engineer, I'm like, oh, that's dope for a woman.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, that ain't like for a woman, like to be in a bad way, but I look at it as if it's where, yes, equality. It doesn't take so much of like other things to make certain things pop off. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's how I'm looking at it stuff as is where we can both, let's say, I'm going to make you a woman in this example.
Okay.
I'm the man. I'm the male student. You're the female student.
Right.
We're taking the same test. We're learning the same things and stuff, whatever. We both get the same kind of grades. We graduate. We're off to our respective field. You get hired from one place. I get hired from another place. We should get hired for the same kind of credentials since we had the same kind of formal education.
Right.
Cool. Back then, the old engineers and stuff, whatever. I'm not saying it was a thing, but more so the women were staying home.
Right.
They weren't doing the heavy lifting.
Right.
So now the landscape can just be equal. That's the equalizer or what's the equity. Is that the word they're using a lot? Equity.
Right.
It's equitable to be male and female engineers. It's just that women dominate specific fields of medicine superbly.
Right.
I.e. nursing.
Okay.
But I don't see plumbing as it's everybody's job. As a woman live by her damn self and stuff, whatever, your toilet is clogged from deuces. You have to crap and stuff at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna get no plumber.
No.
You better use that. Hopefully you got a plunger right next to your shit.
You got a plunge.
And you get the work in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or like if you have the expertise or you can build the technology where you like, you can work a crate, or was it a snake?
A snake.
And get down there and get doing what you're doing and stuff like that by all means. I just don't see the profession being woman dominated. So
okay, well then with that logic, then I don't think you really have to be winning or being superior than anybody else to be considered manly, because like the field has, like you're saying, it's been kind of leveled. It's been leveled with technological advances, traditional roles being changed. A lot. There's a few factors in there where, like I said, I can't, other than plumbing, and we're only saying plumbing because we have not seen or we do not know any female who do it as a manly job.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like a woman can't do it.
No. Hell, I dig women that actually can do a lot of blue collar stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Because I look at it stuff as where, especially let's say if that's to be a keeper, right? Or somebody to date and all that type of stuff.
Right.
I look at it stuff as like, shit, you would rather try and fix this shit yourself before you trying to spend our money? It's a wife.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if you're like, I don't know, honey, what do you gotta know? I gotta know. Solve it, fix it. Different dance. So
I have been seeing a lot more women trucker drivers.
Yeah.
That I've noticed. I've noticed an increase in that, where again, that was something where you'd hardly see any women in it. I think the only woman I seen growing up in a position like that was in the Pee Wee Herman movie when he got picked up by the lady truck driver.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise than that, I didn't know women drove trucks like that.
Yeah, I seen a few.
You seen a few?
I seen a few because I think I know one time I went on a road trip one time, one of the highways, I guess we always thought the horn was that,
Right.
That. And I remember one time, like anytime we pulled up close to a truck,
yeah.
Do that. Like, as a kid, like, do it, blow the horn. You looking like, is that a woman? Oh, shit. And then everybody's like, yeah. What does it take to drive? I was like, I didn't really saw it like that, but
right,
okay.
Right. Yeah.
And yeah, so no, man, we're good. Should men care with empathy in mind? Like I look at it where to be an empathetic person, a lot of times certain things you kind of feel it.
Right.
I'm not saying men don't feel like that, but I feel like when you're showing care,
yeah,
a lot of times, let's say media-wise, it's not relayed like the father really gives a fuck.
Right.
It's kind of like, your mom told me I should come talk to you about, you know this, though, like media-wise. And I feel like a lot of times, I guess if the manly is a man, he is like, oh, now I got to talk to my son about feelings. It would sound better if a man is to say it. Or it hit more impactful if you as a father is to say it.
Right.
And now you have to come into this point where you have to, you know, come with care, like, you know, with empathy in mind.
Yeah.
You feel like
I feel like it's not a bad thing. I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I think, just like you're saying, a lot of men have it in them already, but then it's always being replaced with that. No, you got to approach these things logical and not approach it with anything but logic, right? I think that's where we've always grew up with that kind of training. Like, you know, don't think emotionally, think logically.
Yeah, because emotionally seem like kind of womanly, I guess.
Right, yeah. But I don't think it hurts to add a little emotion to your logic. No. I don't think that hurts at all.
That's what's up. Fair. I dig that. Are people more generous than you think?
Are people more generous than I think?
Yeah.
Not in today's economy. I want to say prior to the pandemic, I think people were more generous. And that's my honest truth. I think
Why?
I think right now, bro, $200 worth of groceries used to fill your trunk.
Yeah.
$200 worth of groceries, that's your front seat right now.
Correct.
I don't think there's a lot of money for us for that generosity to shine. You know, you used to have that little extra change to throw here, throw there. Sometimes you don't need, sometimes I go, you know, to the grocery store expecting to get change back, realizing I know I don't even have enough money with this paper shit I'm carrying around. I gotta tuck that back in my pocket and go for the credit card or the debit card, right? So now I'm spending cash less to have that little charitable change that I used to give away, right? I go to I go to the beer store, and when I used to buy beer so freely and walk out, now I'm asked if I want to make a donation right at the transaction pad. I'm like, shit, I just spent a shitload of money at the cash pad. Now y'all want me to be generous? Maybe if I see somebody person hand to hand in the street, I can give them something. But now to me, this just looks like a scam that's coming up on this on this machine. I'm being honest. I look at this shit. You know what kills me?
What?
The machines, right? When you go to you go to like a grocery store or like a restaurant or something like that, and you're paying by debit machine, right? And the tip prompt comes up. What am I tipping? What am I tipping for? It's like,
do they get the tip?
Who gets the tip?
Who gets the tip?
Right? Like, who gets the tip? Like, I used to be the generous tipper. Now I see machines just pop up and like, there's no service. What am I tipping for?
Let me look. Okay, so it's about 2 minutes and 40 seconds. You just unleashed the whole fury.
My soliloquy.
Yeah, that was a straight soliloquy. Yo, the man's in tears.
My soliloquy.
Yo, are you sweating in tears?
Of why tipping? It's gone to the dogs, man. It's gone to the dogs.
No, yo, you went there. I said, are people more generous than you think? And you went off. Can you only be generous?
I think pandemic has crushed a lot of that generosity.
Can you only be generous with money? Can you not be generous with other things?
I can be generous with.
That's all. You didn't even think that. You
can be generous with other things, but I'm talking in general.
Yo,
I think that whole generosity shit has got.
It only pertains to money.
No, not only pertains to money, but I think people in this. I think people have now have been more reserved
with the generosity.
In general, I think it shows up. It shows up monetarily wise, where I think. Where people needed that, I think they suffered the most. But you're right. Even just like the one or two helping out, giving a helping hand. I think ever since the pandemic, I think people are a lot more into themselves.
Interesting.
Than to be going out and rendering services or giving a helping hand. A lot of people are wishing that they get the helping hand themselves.
And so that's the aspect and stuff too. I'm thinking like. The people who are getting I don't want to make it seem like a bad thing and stuff, but like the handouts or the help.
Right.
The help.
Right.
People are getting the help. I feel like if you're getting the help, you would feel like, oh my gosh, these people are so generous to do this for me.
Right.
You could have done this for anybody else, but you're doing it for me. And that's why I would think people are more generous out here than but clearly.
What's the last generous act that's been done towards you?
The last generous act?
Yeah.
Okay,
put it this way. In the last year or so, how many generous acts have you experienced for yourself?
A lot. I want to say I went to a friend's house to go stay with them instead of paying for a hotel.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Is that generous?
That's generous
to them. They could have said, take the hotel close by, and,
right. Yeah.
It's a lot. I'm a gratitude kind of attitude kind of guy though.
Right.
So I'm grateful for like the slightest thing you might do for me.
Okay.
Even if I'm looking, I'm like, damn, there's no stir sticks for like, the tea.
Yeah.
And then somebody's like, fall back. I didn't put none out yet, whatever. And they bust open the pack.
Right.
I guess it that generous because but that person could have did that after I walked out the store.
He could have did that after you walked out the store.
And not give a damn.
Right.
Even though it is part of their job. But
guess what?
One.
If you didn't mention it, would he have looked over until you say, oh my gosh, you don't have a stir stick. Hold on there, sir.
I actually know I asked for it.
No, but that's what I'm saying. He didn't look over and say, oh shit, that nigga, he's going to need a stir stick. Let me go get him one.
But what if he didn't see it to, let's say opening, he saw it.
Right.
But it's like, fucking hungry hippo customers come in.
Right.
And he got bum rushed. Then I get their stuff, whatever.
Right.
And I'm going to go like, it's no stir sticks. Like, oh shit. When I came in, I saw it. My bad. It slipped my mind. Something slipped their mind.
Something slipped their mind. Something slipped their mind.
Are you okay?
But if you had walked out with without no stir stick and mentioning that you didn't get none, he's not running you down and saying, hey, sir.
If it was at Chick-fil-A,
I had stir sticks for you. That would have been generous. If he went out of his way to say, yo, listen, I know we didn't have it any out before, but I noticed that you didn't have any. So let me go in. But if for him to wait for you, now it's like, oh shit, no, this nigga needs stir sticks. This is how he's gonna eat his food. I better provide him with something that should have already been given to him. No, man.
Who hurt you, Smooth?
It's not generosity.
Who hurt you, Smooth?
I'm tainted.
Clearly. Yo.
No, but on a real, I think since the pandemic, I think less contact, maybe part of the reason too, because we've been segregated, right?
Solitude is different from segregated. I feel like some people will stuff legit. I look at it like this. If you're wearing a mask
right
in today's times and you're not sick,
yeah,
to not try and get the populace sick,
right. You're being generous?
It could be like a solitude thing, and you're like, yo, I don't know the fuck you got.
Right.
And I want to stay away from you, but I got shit to do.
Yeah.
And that's what I kind of look at, like, these things are where people are just putting themselves like, yeah, I don't want to fuck with you and your kind or you and your people and stuff. So I'm just stay by my damn self, Uber Eats, everything and all the above, so I don't have to interact with the outside world, work from home. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they've become accustomed to it. They some of them dig it. They love it. No problem. But it's different from, like, I want to say, it's forced upon you. Because if it was forced upon you for a period of time, let's say when they were quote unquote lockdowns, there's no more any lockdowns.
Right.
What's your excuse?
Right.
So it's a choice. So I don't feel like if you want to be generous and stuff or not, it's still a person's choice. Now I look at it where I don't expect anything from anybody.
Yeah.
When you do it for me, I feel like it comes from a good and generous type of place.
Of course, yeah.
I gave a dude a compliment the other day. You know what I'm saying? When you say like for the last 6 months, I look at it stuff as where I just find myself just saying whatever comes to my mind. If it's something positive or something nice.
Yeah.
All the above. Because some people might never heard some type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
I gave a woman a compliment. I think like, I can't remember some time and stuff about her outfit.
Mm-hmm.
And because I didn't ask her for her phone number and stuff after that, she actually took like, yo, you know, it's been a long time since a man's given me like a compliment and didn't want me.
Anything in return.
Yeah. So I was like, we're out here. We exist.
Yeah, no. We're out here. We exist, and us generous people, we do exist. Don't follow me because
don't follow you.
I'm a generous.
I kind of wanted to.
I'm a generous person
because you were off. You were in tears. You were sweating.
I'm a generous person. Don't let the demeanor fool you.
We will rock you.
But on the whole, I do believe that ever since the pandemic, there's been less of us and not as much.
Okay. Let me ask you this: do you think generosity is contagious? Well, all right. Think about this. I'll cook. Let me cook.
Okay, cook.
So let's say you have these influencers online or these people out here saying like, I'm gonna portray this video, good deed shit. You know, like, hey, what's your name? How much would it take to buy those groceries? Probably like $200. Here's $200, and I caught it all on camera.
Right.
I feel like part of that is for their brand and to make this bread. And I feel like another part of stuff is like, maybe to say like, yo, it's pay it forward, reach one, teach one, help out. Hopefully this might motivate you to do the same.
I was going to say with the whole pay it forward movement.
That's, contagious, isn't it?
I don't know if it's contagious or more of just a movement, right?
Ooh, talk about it.
Because a lot of times people do stuff because it's trendy, right? And
so you wouldn't consider that contagious?
I wouldn't consider it contagious. I just feel like
it's trendy. It's trendy. Viral though?
Yeah, trendy is viral.
And viruses are contagious, no? So where are you? Where are you? Stop thinking about Taylor Swift. Stay here.
Listen. It's viral, right? It goes viral.
Yeah.
Right? But is it contagious? Like after it goes viral, you might like it. Is it going to make you go outside now and say, hey, I have spare change in my pocket, I'm gonna give it away? I don't think if you weren't a generous person to begin with, I don't think seeing acts of generosity is gonna change that.
I don't know. No. You're not wrong. Like, I'm a generous person.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Minus in your rage you portrayed earlier. I look at it stuff as where I used to I do the little pay it forward thing. Well, I don't really, let me say this. My pay it forward is more so when I was younger. It's kind of like, say we're at whatever the fuck, right? Like say, I don't know, grocery store or something like that. You have like one item or two items or some shit. And it might be like minuscule amount of dollars.
Right.
And everything. And you're ringing it up like, yo, boss, just throw that there. Just throw it on my side, whatever, right?
Yeah.
I'll pay for it and stuff, whatever, They're
right.
like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
In my head, I already know, like, all right, you probably want dryer sheets and like a thing of juice. That's like $10.
Right. Yeah.
Whatever, right?
Yeah.
Pre-pandemic. What you're talking about.
Pre-pandemic prices.
I was younger. At the
pre-pandemic prices.
Like I was in my 20s or some shit like that. And like, it'd be nothing to kind of comp their little smaller bill.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Or just to like buy a cup of coffee for somebody and stuff. Because I know a lot of people, like the double doubles back then used to be extra peanuts and stuff too. So I'm looking like, if I see somebody dolo by themselves, like, are you ordering just a cup of coffee or something like that? I'm like, I got you, man,
Right.
Like a pay it forward thing.
Yeah.
And I would hope that it was contagious, not knowing it has to trend first to become viral.
See, but again, even if it wasn't being paid forward, you would still do it. Because you're a generous person like that, right? And anytime like something like that happens to me, it's never in my mind a thought of paying it forward. It's in my mind as, oh, the universe is getting back at me because I do this shit on a regular. You know what I'm saying? So even if I don't pay that forward,
my karma coming.
If I don't pay that forward now, it's shit. I'm still owed like four more favors to even up what I've been paying forward already.
It's a wild boy. This guy's a wild boy. I like this generosity topic right here. I don't think generosity is still left in the world. I don't. I didn't hear you.
It's tight. It's kind of tight, man. It's
Spit
kind of
these
tight.
bars.
It's kind of tight, brother.
I feel like you gotta feel it.
You gotta feel it.
And as I said, like it goes back to like the whole, I guess because men carry empathy and stuff, whatever. I tend to feel it. And then I think it takes courage to kind of, muster it through. Because I look at it stuff as where you might want to do somebody a solid deed or a good deed and everything like that. But then we live in a world where you don't know how somebody might take it.
Yeah.
So you might just, it takes courage.
Right.
Like I look at it stuff as where, okay, even this dude, a random dude, I saw him, he had some Nike blue, like royal blue blazers.
Okay.
Right? You know, the high tops?
Yeah.
He had the high top one and everything, and he had a Rick and Morty hoodie. And it was like blue, the same color as the kicks.
Okay.
Whatever, right?
Right.
I said it out loud with no hesitation. Courage.
Yeah.
Be like, yo, the hoodie with the kicks, it was fire. It was a white dude too. He's like, yo, respect, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, bro.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
And just kind of kept it pushing, whatever. Then when I'm walking off, then he felt the need to kind of throw one back.
Right.
But I was like, no, you don't have to do it. He's like, I saw you earlier in the store, but I didn't want to say anything.
Yeah.
But you complimented me and you saw me. Yeah. I was like, I didn't see. I was
that
like,
compliment forward.
Hopefully it looks contagious now. He's looking like, excuse me, miss, your dress looks stunning today. That's all. Have a nice day.
You throw a little toodaloo behind that, you're out the door for sure.
Shit. Well,
but I mean, okay, so if acts of generosity, right?
Okay.
Wasn't the type of post that, like, when we see like go viral the way it does, do you think we would see as much as those type of posts as we do? Because like you're saying, I feel some people are just being generous because they know it'll go viral and they're doing it for that reason.
No, I think that's the reason why they're doing it.
Yeah.
But again, it's everything's up for interpretation.
True.
Because you and I might watch the same video, same thing, like where you and I both took in a Jay-Z speech, right?
Right.
And we probably had two different takes and stuff from it. So you might look at it stuff like, these bitches is just being generous to go viral and stuff for that. I'm looking like, oh my God, there's still good people out here in the world.
Right.
That's my interpretation. Your interpretation is one way. So I would hope the hippie that I am, act and behave like the world you want to live in.
Yeah.
That's the kind of energy I would try to channel to moving forward and stuff of my acts of generosity or seeing acts of generosity.
Cause I like seeing the one like the I don't know if I told you the time we were walking in I believe it was Woodbine Mall.
Okay.
Where I seen the black lady and I said, I recognize her from the Tim Hortons post. Yeah. The dude came in and he said he didn't have no money and stuff like that. Like stuff like that. When I see stuff like that, where I know the person knows they're not being taped.
Mm-hmm.
And you see it's genuine. Yeah, all day. All day. I love posts like that. All day, right? But the dude who jumps out and says, I'm gonna buy you groceries. Oh, those your kids? They look hungry. What did you do all week? Oh, I didn't do anything because it's like, I got you because I'm Captain Save You. You know what I mean? And then they go in their wallet and this, that, and the third. I just bought her groceries. I'm a good guy. Like, bro, fuck you. Nice you bought her groceries, but I didn't need to know all of that. You could have been the nice guy without all of that.
I guess it's up for your interpretation. I look at it stuff as like, you're not wrong. I'm not saying you're wrong.
No, I know you're not saying. I know it's up for interpretations, but damn, man,
I'm just an optimist.
You're an optimist.
I'm just an optimistic kind of person.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
There's
nothing wrong with that. We need more optimism in the world.
I know
we do.
I don't think the world can handle so many.
We don't need pessimist Pete over here.
Are you Pete?
Yeah, pessimist Pete.
Nice to meet you, Pete. Yo. Let's get to the question of the week, man. It's the slide,
question of the week.
Question of the week. Is Usher going to serenade Taylor Swift? No. Question of the week. Could a lackey be seen as a leader?
I think yes, if the people who he's leading doesn't know he's a lackey.
So-
I think if they know you're a lackey, even if you can lead positively, they're just going to look at you, this lackey over here. A lot of people are going to be like, why are you in that position when I should be in that position? Because you're a lackey.
So that means no.
No.
So you're saying no.
No, I'm saying no. I'm saying if they, no. I'm saying no. If
in general.
In general, if they know you're lackey, then no. If they don't know you're lackey, then you might be able to slide underneath the radar and get your leadership skills going. And then once you do that and you're leading it, at that point, there's no question you're a leader.
I'll say yes.
You'll say yes?
The reason why I would say yes is because R.I.P. Colin Powell. A leader is a person that motivates a person to achieve their own personal agenda.
Okay.
So if you had a good leader and you were the lackey under this good leader,
right,
he or she could have painted a dream that could have been more so magnificent for them, that I would want to live to kind of see their dream to be fulfilled. But yet still, I want my own dream.
Right.
Now, if that person's dream was kind of cut short, and part of my ambition is stuff to kind of see this dream kind of come true, it was still part of yours.
You're right.
But whether or let's say that person's dream got deferred or got cut short, and I continued on with it.
Right.
And if I channeled like other followers and stuff as well, I think, like I look at it stuff as, I don't think we would have people like Aristotle, because Aristotle was a student of Plato. And he wasn't like a direct like student. He was one of many.
One of many, right.
Right? So I look at it stuff as where Aristotle seemed as a lackey until Aristotle came and bust the damn deal and stuff, whatever, too. Because it was Socrates, Plato, Aristotle. And Aristotle is the one that taught Alexander the Great.
I don't know, but would you consider them lackeys though? Would they still be lackeys?
Yeah, because they were in, look, think about it.
Right.
If let's say Socrates at the time, Plato at the time, right? We'll go back to Aristotle.
Right.
Plato at the time had 100 students. It's kind of like, you know what? I'm going to just hone in and magnify Aristotle.
Right.
Right. The other 98 in the class would be like, why do you get to be in that position? You're always like, just like what you were saying.
Right. So, but then Aristotle's no longer lackey, though. No, he's a chosen one. He's the chosen one at that point. If I see a bunch of lackeys, right, and I go like this, I'm teaching you everything. You're no longer the lackey.
But it was more chosen one. But it was more Aristotle with himself kind of went more on the I had it. Aristotle himself was more the one that kind of refined more of the arts more than Plato did.
Right.
So I want to say it's kind of like if Plato thing was like in the, let's say, philosophy, stars, and math.
Right.
Aristotle added like culture, government, all these other things and stuff as well.
Right.
With in his world, he kind of did so much more than Plato.
Right.
And Plato himself didn't really do too much more compared to Hippocrates, Socrates, Plato. Yeah. More than Socrates.
Right.
So I look at it stuff as like the Socrates could say like, yo, I'm the grandfather to you motherfuckers from the grave.
Yeah.
And everything. But then like Aristotle have been like, bitch, you only came in like 2 songs. Like, you came in 2 hits. Right. I have like 20 hits. Watch how you speak.
I can no longer call you a lackey.
Yeah. You
graduated from lackey. You're not a lackey.
But that's what I'm saying. He wasn't handpicked.
He wasn't handpicked.
He was never handpicked.
He wasn't handpicked.
He was just another student.
Right.
One of many.
Yeah.
Yes, a lackey can become a leader. Podcast smooth. Yo, he
lacked nothing. He wasn't a lackey.
All right.
He had brilliance in him. It just needed somebody to pass for him to step up and let it shine out.
This guy over here. No. I'm not pissing you off today. I promise you. Let's get to the Ask the Sons. First Ask the Sons question comes from change able. Change able. What's something everyone around the world isn't getting mad enough about?
Hunger. World hunger.
World hunger?
Yeah.
Yeah, but and they're trying to eat crickets or locusts to solve world hunger?
Is that what they're trying to do?
Yeah, that's what they're trying to do.
We're still out here hungry, man. We're still out here hungry.
No, you gotta
they need to be more
eat
mad
more
about
locusts.
that. They need to be more bad. I'm not hungry. That the people who are hungry, they need to eat more locusts or get mad. I'm gonna get mad for them because I don't want them to just eat locusts alone.
Okay.
I want them to have a well-balanced diet like I've been having.
Okay, that's fair.
But I think, it's like the state of the world affairs, it's like there's too many billionaires to not be able to solve this hunger crisis, I think.
In their country.
Yeah, in their
respectable country. You're right. But I think some countries and stuff, their values aren't not that malleable.
Right.
So things are kind of set in stone, and the generosity that we were talking about earlier isn't really there to that level.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And let's just be real and stuff, like all jokes aside, like I thought, this is just me at the time, I just thought that when Amazon was on fire, you would think Jeff Bezos with his company named Amazon would do something for Amazon. Like, that would have been a hell of a headliner. So Amazon helps save Amazon.
Right.
Right?
Right.
But he wasn't, to me, I guess he's not that much of a generous person. And because people thought the same way I thought, I think he donated like even less than $1 million, and he was one of the richest people in the world at the time. Right? So I look at it as like just generosity. For me, I think that people should be upset about more is like, what are they doing with our food? Like that, not the world hunger thing, but like, the antibiotic resistant things from like putting the penicillin, making certain type of animals get bigger.
Right.
And it's affecting our bodies now where certain medications don't even work for us. Like, and they kind of penetrated through our foods first.
Yeah.
And moving so forth, because I want to say, like, I'm going to put water in there as well. Like when they're putting in, you dump the meds and certain things end up in your tap water systems, and not everybody could afford a Brita filter or other type of filters at the time.
Yeah.
That. Like we have to be so mindful of what we put in our bodies and stuff, because if we want these bodies to kind of tick and boom to like 80, we really got to think about the things what we do to them and stuff and before even the halfway mark. Next question comes from Miss Marion. What's a song that instantly gets you hyped up? Waka Flocka, Hard in the Paint. I think if I had that as an alarm clock, I think the world would be a different day every day. I can't go into that straight away like for a wake up, but I know when I hear it, I would be just chilling like, dun, 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 that nigga Lex Luger. I don't know. I behave erratic.
Feels Good. Is that the name of the song? Is that the actual name of the song?
Tony?
No, not so then I know it's not the actual name of the song. Is you jump to Tony.
Yeah.
The Mace.
Feels so good.
Feels so good.
Make me feel so good.
That's my hype. That song get me hype when it comes on.
So wait, does Hollywood Swinging get you hype?
Hollywood Swinging gets me hype too.
So then that goes to Kool and the Gang then.
Hollywood Swinging gets me hype. Yeah, we can give it to Kool and the Gang.
Okay, I was about to say it's really like, because
we can give it to Kool and the Gang.
Gotcha. Yeah. But is that whole yeah, okay. Yeah.
That whole that groove gets me hype.
Yeah. I feel like bottles should be popped.
Yeah,
like,
right?
When I hear it, I was like, why aren't we celebrating? Shit, okay. Last one comes from SybilUnrest. What's the difference between womanizer and a creep? I thought about this. And the difference between a womanizer and a creep is charisma. 'Cause, 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 'cause
Charisma, and I'll say
Is that what Riz is? Sorry.
Riz? Oh shit.
Charisma?
Maybe that
You're
is
risen up, the charisma and up.
Maybe that is what Riz is.
Hey, I'm not so old anymore. I'm a young boy.
Maybe that is what
if it
Riz
is.
stands
I'm sorry for cutting off your ass. I'm so sorry.
And we'll get a whole bunch of young crowd next week. Nah, nigga.
These old ass men trying to tell us what the fuck. I don't know. I don't never claim I have all the answers. As you are, my good man. Sorry for cutting you off.
I was gonna say the generosity.
Talk about it.
So
what, a creep doesn't offer that much generosity?
No, a creep. When I look at a creep versus womanizer, I think like the womanizer, he's generous to achieve his goals and means. A creep, I think a creep just wants something for nothing.
I don't know, because beauty's an eye of the beholder, or if you're at the bar, the beer holder,
right?
Where they might deem set guy creepy,
right?
A woman might deem set guy creepy, and this man. This might be his resting creep face. I don't know.
His resting creep face.
Because they want to make excuses for shit. So
right.
If he's just like, this is resting creep.
Yeah, he just look creepy.
This is his resting creep face right here.
Right.
He's like, please buy a lovely lady over there a beer. Was that creepy to you?
Yeah. That was a little creepy.
Especially with the hood on and everything. Hold on. Put it in darker. Look. Please buy that lovely lady down there a beer. That's generosity. He chose to buy her a beer.
Yeah. I guess.
So that's what I'm saying. Like,
more often than not, he's probably not looking to buy her a beer. the creep, that is. The womanizer, he's smooth. I think he's smooth all the way. I think he's just going in into ladies. I know I want to talk to this one, but there's a group of y'all. So I'm going to buy all of y'all drinks. Step back.
That's being generous of him too.
Yeah. Step back. Let them all now discuss. Oh, girl, this he came over and buy some drinks. And let them argue on who's gonna go in and try and capture this Big Willie. And then the Big Willie just come back over. I'm sorry, but I noticed your eyes. Then he just walks away. Girl, it's you. If you don't go for him, I'm gonna go for him. Meanwhile, he's done this with every group in the club.
He's just lassoing them in.
He's doing this with every group in the club. Yeah, he got about 5 girls out of the group of 20.
He working.
He's working the room.
He deserve vagina. Yeah. He working.
He working the room.
That's a lot of work.
That's a lot. It's a lot of generosity.
Yeah, if he buying different squads drinks in the process. That's a brave and rich man. We are here. At the end. So say the Sons. You ready for this? So say the Sons this week says, a goal creates a meaning to your life.
So says the Sons.
Your life has no meaning. Your life has no aim, no purpose. Maybe you should formulate a goal in mind. And that will start giving your life a brand new meaning.
Right.
I look at it stuff as you're allowed to have multiple goals. You could be one of your goals might be to be the best worker possible, be the best husband possible, to be the best father possible. And you can have all these type of goals that you're working towards, and these things will give your life a whole new meaning.
Because you're striving for something.
Correct.
Yeah.
So say the Sons.
So says the Sons.
Now, everybody, if you get this episode on a Tuesday, Usher serenaded Taylor Swift already.
He's already was it swooning? He's already swooned her?
Yeah. And if he didn't do that, Usher, you continued on the race war.
You could have made us all
You could have ended it.
You could have made us all peaceful.
You could have ended it. But if you did end the race war, Marvin is already rooting for you.
I still think Taylor Swift is not going to perform, but she might. We never know. I mean, if he serenades her and ends the race award, he might invite her up on stage with him.
It really makes sense.
It only makes sense.
So once again, thank you, folks, for listening to the Podical Sun. Like, comment, subscribe, all the above. All streaming platforms possible. You can see us on YouTube as well.
That's
it. And the website.
You got it.
And yes, thank you for listening to Podical Sons. Remember, the difference between genius and stupidity is that genius has its limits. Peace.
The Podical Sons with Not Your Average Joseph and Sofa King Marvelous.